What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about?
More like Dan Boo Housing. Oh, that's horrible. Dan Boo Housing. Hey guys, this is a Wrestling Maniac. Welcome to my channel. We're wrestling and I'm sorry, that was just bad. Wrestling and wrestling stuff. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and below. This is all for wrestling fans. But yeah, man, enjoy membership too. But yeah, that was bad. Dan Boo Housing. What am I referring to? Well, you see down below this banner. Well, Danhausen debuted at Elimination Chamber, and wow, it flopped. It did not go well, received well by the crowd, by everybody else. Wow. Well, Danhausen. We all knew it was eventually going to be Danhausen. We all knew it was going to be Danhausen. But, man, the disappointment, the crowd. Oh man. And the awkwardness, the Danhausen character. Wow. The crowd really, that'd be. I don't think this is, I personally don't think this is really them booing Danhausen per se. Because I don't really think it's just them booing Danhausen. I think it's just them booing WWE for making us believe somebody big is returning during Elimination Chamber, or debuting during Elimination Chamber in that crate. But that would have overshadowed the return of Seth Rollins, AJ Lee becoming Intercontinental Champion, the surprise ending to the men's Elimination Chamber match. I think that would overshadow that. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I said it before in my preview predictions and videos leading this past week that it's gonna probably be Danhausen. It just doesn't fit Chris Jericho or the other superstars rumored to be coming or debuting, like returning or debuting in the WWE. Besides Danhausen, it seems like a Danhausen kind of thing, and I watched it. I didn't react to it, like all surprised. And to me, I'm like, I just posted a video about Danhausen debuting in WWE. That's it. But man, it was just, yeah. I saw how the crowd was reacting. There was boos, and there was people not really reacting. There was boos and no reaction also from the people in the crowd. Like they're like, what the fuck is this? I apologize for my swearing, but they're like, what the F is this? Like, what the hell are we seeing? And I know Danhausen has been around AEW Independence, and he's quite the character. I know he's friends with CM Punk. He is friends with CM Punk. It's probably one of the reasons he joined WWE, to be with CM Punk. But he's with CM Punk, and he's quite the interesting character. Really is, right? He's more of a comedy act, right? Someone will make you laugh. Right, he's not going to be somebody who's going to go for the world title, Intercontinental, U.S. title. He's going to be somebody who's going to be like, get under your skin, things like that. He's going to be like an R-Truth, Santino Morale. He's going to be something like that. He's a comedy character, as best I can say, a comedy like wrestler in WWE. But that debut, man, it was really, really underwhelming. It was. I knew, like I mentioned. I knew it's going to be him. I think most of you suspected it was going to be him too. I know some of you probably, if you're watching this, probably hope it was somebody else debuting, not Danhausen. But it was Danhausen. I think the problem here is the placing of this. Danhausen, they should have debuted this guy. Debuted Danhausen in NXT. I'm going to say he should have debuted in NXT. I think the crowd in NXT is a lot more knowledgeable than the crowd that watches WWE, because a lot of people that go to WWE events are casuals. I mean, there's hardcore wrestling fans. Of course, a lot of them is casuals. But the NXT crowd, I would think they're a lot more knowledgeable in terms of the bring all wrestling into all wrestling, not just WWE, but AEW, TNA, things like that. So I think it should have been better to debut him at NXT because I think we would have got a better reaction there if he debuted at NXT. I think it would have been people would recognize him more. I know in Chicago's been a heavy AEW town before, right? The thing is, Danhausen wasn't used much in AEW. They just had him in AEW, but he wasn't really used in AEW a lot. I only seen him in a few appearances in AEW, and he was basically a comedy actor in AEW, and that's all he is. I mean, that's what's got him over in Independence. That's what got him signed. Is his character. It worked. It got him noticeable, right? It got him people talking about him. That's how his career flourished. That's how the bigger companies were able to take notice and able to sign him to contracts. AEW, WWE. But just that audience was like BOOS, and that audience was like, what the fuck is this? What the hell is this? And WWE try to pass this off as some big debut. It was like watching you're watching that segment on acid or something. You're like, what the hell am I watching? Yeah, I said like you're high. Like, what the hell am I watching? I knew it was Danhausen. And I knew it was going to be like something strange, weird, not out of this world with Danhausen. But man, it was yeah. Not. I don't think it was. I think it was just the wrong place to debut Danhausen. Wrong place. It was just. I know they were playing Elimination Chamber. It was just that. Man, it was just the wrong place. I think he should have debuted NXT. They should have done it NXT, and I would have had him NXT. And I know they did at the end. They did some disappearing act. It's gonna be like, is he gonna be a vampire? Is that what he's gonna be? A vampire character in this wrestling day and age? You're gonna have a vampire character? Is that what he's gonna be like? A vampire character in this day and age? Really? Man, but a vampire like gimmick, but man, it was, yeah. Danhausen's WWE debut goes wrong, doesn't get the attention, BOOS, and all of that, man. I want to hear your thoughts about Danhausen's WWE debut. Share, like it, dislike it, comment on it. What was your thoughts? Just tell me in the comments below. Take care, guys. Bye.
Too sweet. Too sweet.